I like my Ranger hat. I got some boots to match. Yeah, I got some boots to match. So when I go through Texas, going out west. Now, y'all, I was watching Glorious Life on Wheel. Her name is Carol, who runs the channel. And Carol did an interview with a lady. She was at Lollapalooza. And so the title of the video, now let me get it correct, is Van Life, Going from Fear to Empowerment as a Solo Female. And it was a very interesting interview, and I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to encourage y'all to go to Glorious Life on Wheels channel and watch this interview, and I'll put the links here. And the reason why I enjoyed that interview, well, I enjoy her interviews, but I enjoyed this interview because, I enjoyed this interview because there was a lady, and I'm not going to give away the story because I want y'all to go watch the video, Van Life, from Fear to Empowerment as a Solo Female. And as a solo female myself, traveler, I know what it's like to be fearful and then to feel sometimes empowered. I recently interviewed someone on my channel, and I'm going to attach that interview with this video, and her name is Wanda. And Wanda's story reminded me a lot of the lady, I believe her name is Glenda, who Carol interviewed at Lollapalooza. And they have a lot of similarities, and I don't want to really give it away except to say that they both are widows and they both are traveling as solo females. They both still have places, like a place, a house, an apartment, or whatever. And I just thought it was a very interesting interview, and I think that it's this interview that I did with Wanda, although I'm not an interviewer, that's why I don't do a lot of interviews on this channel. I think that after y'all watch it, y'all are definitely going to feel empowered. A lot of people, not a lot, but people always ask me, or y'all reach out and y'all wondering, like, aren't you scared, or do you feel safe? And yes, I feel as safe as a solo female traveler, nomad, van life. And I want to say, I feel as safe as any time in my life. What's great about this lifestyle, you know how they say crossword puzzles keep your mind sharp. You should do crossword puzzles or Sudoku. That's what you should do when you are traveling as a solo female. It keeps your mind sharp because every day you have to get up, especially when you live nowhere. Like, I plan very few things in regards to my travels. And that's why I don't like to say on here, like, what I'm going to do or where I'm going, because when I don't get there, I don't like to say something and then not do it, but life happens. But the kind of lifestyle I live, which I live nowhere. Like, yes, I live in this van, but I'm houseless. I'm zip codeless, and every day is a new adventure. It's not always adventurous, but it's definitely a new adventure. I don't know what's next. Like, I don't know. Like, today I woke up and I do have a few things that I need to do. But besides the things that I need to do, I kind of just don't know. And that's what's so exciting to me. But what excites me scares the crap out of me also. And it's like, every day, your mind you have to be on point, because wherever you go to sleep, I'm at a Pilot gas station now. Y'all know I did another video talking about the Pilot gas stations and how I feel very comfortable and safe. Although this Pilot gas station was interesting. But back to the interviews. So, Glorious Life on Wheel, Carol did an interview, and it talks about, like, a woman, as I shared, and she's just really sharing how she conquered her fear. And in this interview that I did, and y'all gonna have to work with me on my interview because I'm not an interviewer and it's kind of far off, and I hope that y'all can hear it. And if you can't hear it at different parts, I'll try to put some words up to bring clarity to it. But in this lifestyle, here's an important question that Carol and the lady, I believe her name is Glenda, brought up. And this is, what's the worst that can happen? Now, as far as something happening, as far as you not being safe, I don't worry about that, because you cannot be safe in your own home, or you can go to the grocery store or to the gym and something can happen. But as far as what's the worst that can happen, I thought that was such an important quote, because that's what you have to ask yourself. What's the worst that can happen? You got to move safely. You got to move safely. What does that mean? If you're traveling and something happens, you want to get your vehicle road ready, which is what I did to my vehicle. I had to put a lot to get my vehicle road ready, but still things can happen to this vehicle. It's not a new vehicle, so things can happen, and you have to make sure you have things in place like roadside assistance, savings, things like that. And so this is what the ladies, Carol and Glenda, were talking about in their interview. What's the worst that can happen? She talked about, when I say she, I'm talking about Glenda. And without giving it away, she just talked about some of the things you think about when you're on the road. But then you have to ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen if you're moving smartly? That's why I like to get to a place in the daytime and scope it out. And I don't like to travel. I had to travel last night in the dark, and these eyes can't see in the dark. But you want to like move smart. And for me, that's moving in the daytime, right? Not moving at night. I like to be settled in. And it's disappointing to me that it gets dark so early, because you got to settle in early. And that don't work with me. And that's why I've been out kind of at night. But without going on and on and on, I hope I'm even recording. Without going on and on and on, I'm going to attach the video that I did with Wanda, someone who... Y'all see what I just saw? Y'all see what I see? Okay. I'm going to attach my interview that I did with Wanda. It may not be as loud as I want it to be, but I will put some words up if you can't hear it. I'm going to put a link to Carol's video, Glorious Life on Wheels, so that you can go, if you haven't already. I'm sure many of you probably have watched it, but if you haven't watched it, go watch that interview. Also, I'm going to put a link to Fia's Datboondockingdiva, because she actually did a tour of Wanda's vehicle. One of the things, in regards to doing the tour, one of the things that Wanda shared with us is that this is, I think, going to ChasmFest with Tiffany, WhereisTiffany, that event she hosted. I think that was I know that was Wanda's first long trip. She traveled 2,000 miles, and figuring out her van, she had a lot. She's still figuring out things. I mean, I'm still figuring out things. I went to a store last night and bought some stuff, so I'll be giving y'all an updated van tour real soon. Let me stop going on and on and on and share this video with y'all. Leave your comments. I'm sure Wanda will probably watch the video. Words of encouragement are appreciated. This is a very enjoyable lifestyle, but as I said, what excites you also scares the crap out of you. So leave some words of encouragement. Thank y'all so much for watching. As always, whatever you do and however you do it, take the joy route. Now let's get to the interview. So I'm doing a picture with Wanda, and as you can see, she looks fabulous. And I asked her, could I call her Wanda, because I don't know if you care to share your age on camera. You don't have to, but let me just tell you, you look great. Do you care? You don't have to tell us your age. I don't want to tell. Okay, you don't have to tell it. Now, I met you through Fia, and she did an interview, and if they want to see inside your van, they could go look at Fia's channel, and I'll put a link down below. But tell me your story. What brings you out? I see that you're traveling in a mini camper van. Tell me what year, make, model, all that good stuff.
It's a Pacifica, Chrysler Pacifica. It's a 2020.
Okay, and you've built out, I've taken a tour, and you have a bed. How would you say, some people think about minivans and they don't think they're comfortable. Could you tell us how you've traveled 2,000 miles. Could you tell us how that's been as far as comfort?
Comfort has been great.
Okay.
I flipped the bed many times, and I'll probably flip it again.
Okay.
Until I get my feeling of satisfaction.
So when you say flipped it, that just means
turn it around,
rearrange, make it work for you.
Things, I guess, when you start,
Mm-hmm.
how you have things that you don't even think you need, or things that you thought you needed but you don't.
Okay.
So you just switch until you get more comfortable.
So do you live full-time or part-time in your van?
I'm part-time. I have a little square box.
Okay.
Apartment, but I'm working towards doing full-time.
What inspired you to get on the road?
I wanted to see the world. I lost my better half 2 years ago.
Okay.
And 47 years that I just want to go and see nature and the beauty of our country.
Why not do travel out of the country? I'm sure you've been out of the country.
Yes, I have been out of the country, but driving you can see a lot more.
Absolutely. You absolutely can see a lot more. A quick interruption before I bring you part 2 of the interview. The interview the second part probably could have been the first part, but I'm trying. Also, I realized I ask questions and I talk over people, just something. It's one of my quirks, and I do apologize, but please do enjoy the interview. Where have you been this trip alone? Like, how many miles have you driven? Where are you coming from? I hooked up with you and Fia in Alabama, or I think Georgia. But where did you come? Where are you coming from?
I came from Lake Havasu, Arizona.
Okay.
Which is for me 2,385 miles one way.
Wow. And where'd you go? What'd y'all do? What are y'all doing now? Y'all was out in Arizona, right?
Yes, we was out in Arizona in Lake Havasu. We was at a CHA.S.MFEST, which is a health gathering for everybody, no matter what kind of rig you were in.
Okay. What kind of rigs did you see out there?
There were all kinds.
All kinds. So mini camper vans.
Yeah.
RVs. That's Datboondockingdiva. So,
yes.
So you had there were all kinds of rigs.
Yeah, it was all kinds of rigs, and we did tours of a lot of them.
Okay.
They had different things like yoga.
Okay.
Okay.
At the outdoor convention.
Health thing. We did paintings.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Do you have a top for your van, like a cargo thing?
Yes, I have one. It's probably the whole length of the vehicle.
Okay.
I just started out and I decided, no, I'm not going to put it up because I carry too much stuff. I'm just going to go with it.
Okay, with it. You miss it. You miss having it. So what are your plans? I mean, like upcoming, will you stay in a mini camper van? What do you think the advantages of traveling in a mini camper van with a bed as opposed to something larger? What are the advantages and disadvantages?
Well, one of the advantages is that you can fit anywhere.
Okay.
And it's
is it good on gas? Is yours good?
It's excellent on gas.
Okay.
And as long as you don't overpack it.
Okay.
It's a really nice
vehicle
to have. You can just slide anywhere.
Okay. That's the thing about a minivan. Like I know you said you were going somewhere for the holidays, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you had a larger van, do you think you could fit in your person's driveway, or how would you go about parking?
It would depend on what type of driveway they have. I have mooch stock in my son's driveway.
Okay, you call it mooch stock. What's mooch stock?
That's just what they say.
Okay, mooch stock. Okay, because I just boondock in a driveway. They call it mooch stock. I do that a lot, and I think just for me, I think that's one of the advantages is that no matter where you go, even if somebody lives in an apartment, you can still have your space if you want to not, be bothered, and then you can also go in there and your van fits nicely. Okay, so I want to talk one more. I want to circle back to seeing the world and America being so beautiful. What are your plans? Like, I know you live in Florida, which is a beautiful state, and right now are we in Alabama or Georgia? We're in Alabama. So what are your plans? You're going to go back home
back home to service my vehicle.
Okay.
Get warmer clothes, and I'm headed north for Thanksgiving.
For Thanksgiving for your son. Well, thank you so much. It's so awesome to meet one fellow mini camper van dweller, whether you're full-time or part-time. It's so awesome to meet you. We've hung out and I've had an enjoyable time learning about you, learning about your story, and I hope we can travel again soon.
Yes.
Take the joy route. If you're new to this channel, thank you and welcome. Please consider subscribing. My name is Frankie and the channel is Joy Route, which simply means live your best life, whatever that means to you. For me, that means living full-time in my mini camper van, living, traveling, working in my mini travel van, taking road trips, long road trips. Basically, I say I live nowhere. I'm zip codeless and houseless. And so I just take long road trips in my van and I go on adventures. Every day is a different adventure. I hope you'll consider subscribing. I want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and if you want to list what you're grateful for in the comments, go ahead and list it in the comments. I love to hear that. I always take the time to give thanks. Today is actually my oldest son's birthday, and I did mail him a card, and in the card I told him I would bring him a souvenir. It's going to feel a little strange. I got a little sad last night thinking about not being in my home base for Thanksgiving, but I'm thankful that I'm able to travel, which is my wildest dream. I'm living my wildest dreams of traveling, being on the road, getting to see more of America. That's truly my wildest dreams. I'm going to state parks and national parks. I'm going to put up several videos where I visited some of the most gorgeous parks in Georgia. So I'm very thankful. And if you care, leave in the comments what you're thankful for. We all have something to be thankful for. I know for many this is a difficult time. It's a difficult time of year for me for many reasons. But I still am able to be thankful. So if you care to share, please do share what you're thankful for in the comments. Thank you so much. Leave a comment, give a like, subscribe, but whatever you do, take that joy route.